On the Journalism Prize, we do the range of things that Orwell did. On the Journalism Prize, in a year when everybody has moaned almost continually about the state of journalism, it is very vigorous and it is in very good form, and there's some incredible stories being written. Roger Grafe, the distinguished filmmaker, and Peter Kellner, the YouGov and ex-journalist, were our judges on this exercise. We had a wonderfully strong long list. John Arledge for the magazine story, Ian Cobain on a series of investigations that happened almost by accident on torture, which I really recommend. They are chilling. Jonathan Foreman in Standpoint, a very part of a kind of a really interesting new viewpoint altogether in British thinking and writing. It's a very good set of stories. Paul Lewis in The Guardian, the G20 stories, wonderful. Anthony Lloyd, a long-term war reporter, telling stories about Afghanistan. Afghanistan feels to me it's gone off our horizon a bit, but it's the most important story in the book. Mary Riddell, wonderful story on children soldiers. Robert Varrick, again, amazing reporting over a range of things. We had reporting from Britain and we had reporting from abroad. Reporting is in very good health in Britain, and although under tremendous pressure. So, congratulations to all of them. The shortlist. John Arledge, Sunday Times, set of stories, beautifully written, absolutely gripping. Top read for everybody, follow that name always. I mean, a gentleman, a sort of, a on social affairs, but with a very distinct sound to her. The judges very much fell for this set of stories, really, that were admitted, and the particular voice she brings to them. Peter Hitchens, the Mail on Sunday, for his foreign reporting, again, an extremely distinct. But completely growing a much tougher skin, actually. It's a voice that he takes to places and to stories that other people, and he doesn't always tell the story you want in a funny kind of way, but he always goes there. It's an extraordinary set of stories. Paul Lewis in The Guardian, there's G20 stories, and what journalism is there for. They're to hold us accountable. They're to hold people accountable. Stories about probably the most difficult and complicated and unpleasant and difficult for us to get right, but getting better. A set of stories right from the front line, in that tradition of journalism that really matters, the front line. These are in a sense all frontline journalists. But that's the place where stories happen, really tremendous writing. Hamish McCrone, that extraordinary Olympian, independent voice that was so often right about the most important set of stories about the economy. A really distinguished, as ever, set of stories. David Reynolds, the BBC, a set of stories about America, some blogging. Again, one of those people who brings an expertise to our understanding of the world, which has subtlety in it, hugely appreciated by the journalists. So that is our shortlist for the Journalism Prize this year. Congratulations to all of them. Judges on the blogging prize, Richard Halpern, who was our winner last year, our wonderful Jack Knight, the blogging policeman. We had a landmark legal case on him last year when the Times outed him. So he was one of our judges. He's the most wonderful man and is a representation of what the police, I feel you could just export him. He would do well for it. He's a lovely, lovely man. And Una King was our other judge. this year, a great defender of all sorts of libertarian values. And they work very hard because blogging has come of age. And that's what we really understood, that blogging this year is not a disparate thing, it's a variety of things, and people use it. Some wonderful blogs, I recommend them to you. You don't have to be bewildered by the huge variety of things that amuse and puzzle you. We've got a good list, go and read them. David Osler, David's Park, David Smith, wonderful ones from Africa, Gideon Ratman blog, Hopi Sen, who everybody thought was sort of getting into his stride. Ian Dale, you know, the political entrepreneur of the blog and all of that stuff. You know, his own view, always put in Ian Dale's inexorable view. Laura Penny, feminism still survives, and it's got lots to say. Madame Miao, again, you know, an extraordinary account, really, of things going on, blogged about with real views, real independence and spirit. Mary Beard, just tremendously funny. Now, she comes from my own, I'm an academic, you know, and she lives in a more highfalutin place than where I live. And the academic life is a different one, but the academic life matters. It's our sixth biggest industry. All of your children will go to university. Most of you have been to university. Mary Beard gives you an insight, actually, into some of those things. And she's terribly funny. Funny is good. Easy blogs, Tim Marshall on foreign matters, Winston Smith, an anonymous social worker all over the Mail today, all over the Guardian yesterday. Is this a first? Again, these blogs are reinventing reporting, some of them, from places that aren't getting reported. And that's very important. So that's our long list. Clap. And the short list of blogging is Hopi Sen. Finding his stride beautifully, but very funny, very good, very distinct voice. And David Kent, a wonderful legal blogger that again absolutely takes you into the real dilemmas of the law. This is really this stuff really matters. It really gets you somewhere. It really is insightful. Payne Red again, you know, takes you to places that you have not been and gives you funny and insightful accounts of things that are going on. Beautifully written, very funny, despite, you know, the pressure of producing a blog. Madame Miao, again, you know, a very distinct voice, very funny, and taking you to places that only blogging has discovered. Blogging does have its own terrain, and I think Madame Miao takes us there. Wonderful. And Tim Marshall, because Sky News blog does actually get you to foreign affairs in a way that is again, has an insider's view, it gives you the underside of the story, really good stuff. So, and Winston Smith, the anonymous social worker that no doubt is about to be outed, I don't know. But again, you know, this is blogging that takes you, just like, it's a kind of journalism. That's one kind of blogging, it's public service. It's the underside of public services, a tremendous voice, funny and accurate, and I think Richard Horton certainly identifies that. So, that is our blogging shortlist, and give them a clap. And I just wanted to say that, you know, all of this stuff, we hope, you know, the not perfect, difficult chap, who nevertheless, when you took him somewhere, saw things that other people didn't see, reported things that other people didn't see, would have approved of. And you'll have good reads if you read more. And I turn you over to the debate we thought would be a good one to have. Thank you very much.